So recently I found myself in fast-paced scenarios that don't wait around for you, and I kept running into the same problem. God damn it. Oh, what the Anyway, I need to be able to set up a clean tripod shot without the setup time, and as you can see, I actually figured it out. Okay, so the technique goes as follows. So firstly, I shoot in slow motion, as this will give the stabilization in post a much better success rate, because naturally slow motion will stabilize the micro jitters. Also, a wider lens and IBIS will help, but isn't required for this technique. Then I basically turn into a statue. Lock your elbows and plant your feet. I think this step's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so this is where the magic actually happens. I drop my chosen clips that I want to have that tripod look into my editor of choice, which happens to be Final Cut at the moment. I'm not quite smart enough to use DaVinci yet, but maybe one day I'll get there. Then I apply stabilization, wait for it to analyze, and then select tripod mode. Because the frame barely moves, and then paired with slow motion, the stabilizer doesn't freak out, and instead, it just locks the frame. I've recently used this technique quite frequently in my New York video, especially for details, textures, architecture, people, symmetry. So usually I'd use my tripod to get these type of shots, but I got them in literally seconds, and walking around New York with a tripod is just a bit of a faff. This technique works because the stabilization software only struggles when there's lots of camera movement. So if your camera movement is very minimal, thanks to the slow motion, IBIS, wider angle, you know, those things, it just cleans up that last 5%, and then your shots actually look like tripod looking shots. However, this technique isn't perfect. If there's heavy parallax or lots of camera movement in your frame, anything that creates lots of motion blur, then so this won't replace sliders, push-ins, or moving shots. This is just to get that locked off look. So the next time you're shooting run and gun, or traveling, or just don't feel like pulling out a tripod, then consider if this technique works in your scenario. If this video helped, then consider dropping a like, that would be much appreciated, and I guess I'll catch you in the next one. I will drop a link to the New York film if you want to go watch that as well. I put a lot of time into it, a lot of effort.